to our February 22nd town board meeting. Mr. Trotter, why don't you lead us in the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Here.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilwoman Noack.
Here.
Councilwoman Inzerillo.
Here.
Councilman Loman. Here.
Okay, we'll begin this afternoon. We have one site plan. Mr. Trotter, you're up.
Yep. Good afternoon, Supervisor, members of the Town Board. I'm Liam Trotter with the Planning Department, and I have one site plan to present to the Board this afternoon, acting as the Board of Site Plan Review. The application is called Farm to Table. The subject site is located on the north side of Smithtown Boulevard in Wisconsin, east of Nichols Road and just across from Jefferson Street. And the proposal is for the proposed construction of a new 5,294 square foot two-story building with a cellar for food, retail, and restaurant use. The applicant has agreed to 6 conditions of site plan approval, most of them standard: that they obtain permits prior to the issuance of construction, that they install a tree preservation fence, they must obtain a highway work permit from the Suffolk County Department of Public Works. They must submit to the engineering department a sheeting and bracing plan for the excavation of the basement to protect to the adjacent property to the east. They must also provide engineer details for the exterior basement ramp on the north side of the building. And the last condition is that they relocate the street trees further away from the roadway to improve visibility exiting the site. So again, this is the proposed site plan. There'll be one curb cut on Smithtown Boulevard. The proposed architecture of the building. And does the board have any questions on this application?
Any questions?
It's nice.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Trotter.
Thank you.
Site plan will be voted on after we finish the agenda this afternoon. Okay, meeting is town board. Deputy Clerk.
Supervisor appoints Jennifer Rea as secretary to the supervisor effective February 26th. Correspondent is the building department report from January, and there are 2 parades. The first is the Kings Park Parade, the St. Patrick's Day Parade from 12 to approximately 1:45 on March 2nd, and the second is the Wisconsin Athletic Association Opening Day Parade, April 13th, from 9 till 11:30. On public hearings, we have one public hearing to consider. It's proposed local law 5, amendments to chapter 177 of the town code entitled Solid Waste Management as it relates to dumping. And Janice Hanson, Assistant Town Attorney, is here to describe it.
Good afternoon, Supervisor and members of the board. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider an addition to chapter 177, Solid Waste Management. The proposed amendment would add a 177-101 section, which is a prohibition against dumping. Specifically, the proposed code would prohibit any person, his or her agent, employee, or any person under their control to allow garbage, hazardous waste, liquid waste, litter, rubbish, solid waste, construction or demolition debris of any sort, any organic or inorganic material or other offensive matter being transported in a dump truck or other vehicle to be dumped, deposited, or otherwise disposed of on any street, lot, park, public place, or other area where, whether publicly or privately owned. The materials would only be permitted to be disposed of at privately or publicly owned, permitted, and licensed disposal facilities. Litter measuring less than 10 square feet in an area would not be deemed dumping under this code. And the amendment proposes also a change to section 177-111 with the addition of a subsection B, this is the penalties section, to provide that anybody who violates, neglects, or refuses to comply with any provision of 177-101 would be guilty of an unclassified misdemeanor and will be liable for a fine of $5,000 to $10,000 and/or imprisonment for not more than 60 days, or both for a first offense. And for a second or subsequent conviction, they would be subject to a fine of $10,000 to $20,000 and/or imprisonment between 60 days and 6 months, or both. And each day that the violation continues would be a continuing separate violation. So unless there are any questions, that concludes this presentation.
Any questions by the board?
No, thank you.
Anyone in the audience wish to be heard on this public hearing? There being none, I will move to close the hearing.
Second.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes, and I will make a motion to adopt.
Second.
Supervisor Wilhelm,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Authorize the town clerk to advertise for 3 public hearings. The first 2 are on Tuesday, March 5th at 2 o'clock at Town Hall. The first is to consider amendments to Chapter 222 entitled Public Nuisance Abatement. And the second is the traffic code entitled Parking Regulations as it relates to unregistered vehicles. The last one is Tuesday, April 2nd, also at 2, to consider zone change petition 2023-04 submitted by All Hands on Deck for a change of zone from office business to wholesale service industry for the property located on the northeast corner of Middle Country Road and Hillside Avenue.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes.
On the consent agenda, the controller number 1 to 8, and 1 consent resolution in the minutes of February 6th.
Anyone on the town board wish to remove any resolutions from the consent agenda?
No, thank you.
No.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes.
Authorize the town clerk to advertise for bid 2417 arts and craft supplies and 2416 sporting goods.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes.
The town board to issue a secret negative declaration determination in the matter of the application for site plan approval by Smithtown Boulevard Realty Corp. For Farm to Table, located on Smithtown Boulevard, on east side of Nichols Road in Wisconsin, for the reasons as stated in a memorandum from the Environmental Protection Director.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes.
Award the following bids and authorize the purchase of the associated goods or services. Bid 24-8, polyethylene bags to Forteon Packaging LTD, 24-4 for HVAC maintenance and repair to Accutemp, and 24-1 for fuel resale at the town marina to Sprague Operating Resources.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wilhelm.
Yes.
The town board to approve the following: an extension of bid 22-23 for automotive rebuilding services with drivetrain truck parts, an extension of agreement with DL Concrete Corporation through September 4th, 2024, extension of bid 2201 for processing of curbside recyclable material with Great Northern Fibers, ratification of the town attorney's execution of engagement letters with Harris Beach PLCC for general land use, rescind Resolution 2024-137 of the Town Board meeting of February 6th regarding zoning yards, renewal of a multi-factor authentication licenses for the Town Computers Network with CDI, authorize the Department of Environment and Waterways to prepare and file an application with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for grant funding from the Household Hazardous Waste State Assistance Program for the period January 1st through December 31st, 2024. Authorization to support Suffolk County District Attorney's Raymond A. Tierney's public campaign and efforts for a change in the New York State laws relating to fentanyl, and authorize the supervisor to execute any documents relating to the support for this campaign and efforts. Authorization to support New York State deadly driving bills S.3135 and A.174, and also authorize the supervisor to execute any documents. Town Board to accept as complete for the purpose of SEQA, review the draft generic environmental impact statement prepared by the firm of VHB for the Kings Park Downtown Revitalization Master Plan, and authorize the town clerk to advertise same with the public comment to close at 5 o'clock on Friday, April 5th. Purchase of computer network hardware from CDI. Town Board to approve the designated public safety employees to attend North Tactical Training Conference and Expo in Verona, New York. And the last is the extension of an RFP 2355 for commercial canoe livery service at Paul T. Given Park with Nissaquag River Canoe and Kayak Rentals.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Authorize the supervisor to execute the following resolutions on a form approved by the town attorney. Consulting service agreement with Miguel Calamano for services as the medical director for Horizons Counseling and Education Center. A renewal of agreement with Auctions International for online auctioneer services. An agreement with Suffolk County Youth Bureau for state aid in the amount of $47,225. An agreement with M&J Engineering to provide semi-annual infrastructure inspection for bridges and culverts within the town. And the last is a specialized service agreement between the Recreation Department and various vendors to provide specialized service and programs.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
Approve settlement in the matter of Nico Negron in the amount of $8,689.95.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes.
And personnel items number 1 to 16 as described on the agenda.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes to all, and I'm going to recuse myself from number 4.
Councilwoman Zarello,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes. That concludes resolutions. We will reconvene as Board of Site Plan Review for the site plan.
On the site plan is the approval of the minutes of February 6th, and to conditionally approve the site plan for Farm to Table for the proposed construction of a two-story building for food and retail and restaurant. This was the site plan that was described at the beginning of the meeting by Liam Trotta of the Planning Department.
Councilman Lohman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Supervisor Wareheim.
Yes. That concludes site plan. Do we have anyone wishing to speak this afternoon?
We have no speakers.
We have no speakers, therefore I'll move to close the meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Wareheim,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack,
Yes.
Councilwoman Zarello,
Yes.
Councilman Lohman.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for attending.